Welcome senior one to a session of final revision on classification, and we start solving some exercises on a classification. We have to remember that we have studied the modern classification made by Vatiker, and he classified living organisms into how many kingdoms? How many kingdoms in the modern classification? Do you know? 5 kingdoms. And the last one of them is kingdom Animalia. We divide living organisms in the modern classification into 5 kingdoms, if you remember. Kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom Fungi, kingdom Plantae, and finally kingdom Animalia. And we come to the end of kingdom Animalia, and we are gonna solve some exercises on kingdom Animalia. We have here some exercises, so we're gonna solve them together, inshallah. After solving exercises on classification, we are gonna, inshallah, revise the units of first term, unit 1 and unit 2. On the first term, we are gonna revise it and make a revision on it, inshallah. Let's read the first question. Write the scientific term for each of the following statements. The highest taxonomic level in taxonomic hierarchy of living organisms classification. What is the highest level in taxonomy? Taxonomic hierarchy. Yeah, of course. It is what? Kingdom. Kingdom. Very good. Okay. It's kingdom. Okay. A series of characteristics ordered in pairs that help the user to identify a known living organism. You remember? A way of characteristics in pairs. Like if you remember, we make it, if we want to describe the butterfly, for example, we go to classify it by a description, some descriptions in pairs.
Dichotomous key.
Dichotomous key, very good. The dichotomous key, of course, the dichotomous key. I'd like to show you the dichotomous key now. Yes, here. The dichotomous key is here. Yes, this is the dichotomous key. As you see here, scientists often use dichotomous key to help them in identifying a living organism. Dichotomous key is a series of descriptions ordered in pairs that leads to identify an unknown living organism. Like we are describing, for example, the butterfly. If we are studying the butterfly, for example, and I want a student to describe the butterfly. So I will say, is it from insects or مثلا arachnids? You tell me it's from insects. Is it from winged insects or wingless insects? It is winged. Is it with 1 pair of wings or 2 pairs of wings? It has 2 pairs of wings. The pairs of wings covered with bright scales or transparent scale, or the wings are transparent. They are covered with bright scales. So the answer here is what? Dichotomous key. Dichotomous key. Okay. Okay. Let's go back to the questions. Back to exercise again. Yeah, the answer is dichotomous key. Number 2, dichotomous key. Okay. Type. Number 3, Ruqayya. A type of bacteria has the ability to survive in harsh environment. What type of bacteria can survive in very high temperature, boiling water and salty water, and decrease a very shortage in oxygen? What type of bacteria? We have 2 types of bacteria. The old bacteria and the new, the new bacteria. The old bacteria, yeah, the old bacteria, yes. The old bacteria, or it is called what? I want to see you. Have eubacteria. I want to show you the divisions of bacteria. Here we have the divisions of bacteria in Monera kingdom. In Monera kingdom, here we have 2 types of bacteria. In Monera kingdom, we have 2 types of bacteria. The archaeobacteria, or the old bacteria, the archaeobacteria, and the eubacteria, the real bacteria, the new bacteria. The old bacteria, most of them often survive in harsh environmental conditions, such as hot springs, environment with no oxygen, and highly salty water. These old bacteria, or archaeobacteria, okay, this is the answer of the question. Okay, let's go back to the exercise. Number 4, ya Salma. A type of fungi produce spores inside the club-shaped structures. Club-shaped structures. You remember the types of fungi, or the divisions of fungi? We have zygomycota, ascomycota, and basidiomycota. Which one of them?
Cytomycota.
Again, I will go back to the fungi again. We have zygomycota, such as the bread mold fungus. Zygomycota, such as the bread mold fungus from the zygomycota, الفطريات التزاوجية. Basidiomycota, such as, number 2, basidiomycota, such as the mushroom, which has a cup-shaped structure, which are called basidium. And we have also ascomycota, such as penicillium and yeast. Which of them? The answer will be which of them? Our question ask about what? Ask about they have a basidium, a cup-shaped structure called basidium, and the spores are found inside it here. The spores are found here in the basidium. So this is the answer of our question. The answer is basidiomycota. The answer is what? Basidiomycota. The answer is basidiomycota. الفطريات البازيدية هي بالعربي نفس ليس لها ترجمة، بازيدية أو الصولجانية. لو حبينا نترجمها نقول الفطريات الصولجانية. طيب, number 5. The plants that are their seeds produced inside a pericarp. Inside a pericarp. The seeds found inside a pericarp. Let's go to the plant kingdom. Let's go to the plant kingdom. Revise. Yes?
Conifers.
Conifers inside a cone. Conifers inside a cone, not inside very fruit envelope or a pericarp. Inside the fruit envelope, it is the flowering plants. They are the flowering plants, not the conifers. The conifers are different. Let's go to the plants. Where is the plants? Again, we revise like this. You have to revise many times. Go back to the place of the A. Yeah, we have here Brachyphyta. And we have here conifers, gymnosperms. This without a cone or without a pericarp. Conifers or gymnosperms. We are talking about the plants which produce seeds without a pericarp. They have naked seeds, shaped without a pericarp. Okay, the seeds are found in a cone like pinus. But angiosperms, the angiosperms, okay, plus angiosperms, this is the answer. The flowering plants or the angiosperms. This is our answer for the question. They are the plants which produce seeds inside a pericarp. They are terrestrial plants, have stem, leaves, and roots. They produce flower that convert into fruits, including seeds. These plants are classified into Monocotyledon and Dicotyledon. So the answer of our question is angiosperms. The answer of our question is what? Angiosperms or flowering plants. Okay. We have here a fruit envelope or a pericarp. But in gymnosperms, we don't have a pericarp. In conifers, we don't have a pericarp. Okay. Let's go back to the exercise. Number 6. Ruqayya. Plants that have fibrous roots and parallel veined leaves, which are Monocotyledon or Dicotyledon?
Adiantum.
Adiantum. You are talking about something not from we mentioned. We have here to choose between Monocotyledon and Dicotyledon. Both of them are angiosperms, both of them flowering plants, but the one which has parallel veined leaves and fibrous roots, like onion, like wheat plant, like maize or corn plants. Now, is it Monocotyledon or Dicotyledon? Let's go back.
Monocotyledon.
Yeah, of course, Monocotyledon is correct. Let's go back to the plant again, to revise it again. Plant kingdom again. We have here Monocotyledon and Dicotyledon. Here we have Monocotyledon. The answer is here. They have fibrous roots and parallel veined leaves. The leaves are narrow and parallel veined. The leaves are parallel veined, like the maize or the corn plant. These leaves are parallel veined, like this. The leaves have parallel veined. Okay. العروق متوازية كده فين؟ في الليف، في ورقة الشجرة العروق بتاعتها متوازية، لكن هنا we have a pinnate or palmate veination. This is pinnate or palmate veination. اسمها تعرق مكثف أو إيه؟ تعرق إيه؟ غير متوازي، لكن هي تعرق متوازي parallel veinate. الأوراق فيها عروق أو أوردة. الveins of the plant leaves are parallel. لكن هنا في الدايكوتولين are not parallel. pinnate or palmate veination. تعرق شبكي بنسميه بالعربي تعرق شبكي، لكن هنا تعرق متوازي parallel veinate. This is the answer our question. The answer of our question is what now? What is the answer of our question? It is Monocotyledon. The answer of our question is what? Monocotyledon. Okay. Next question for Salma. Aquatic animals Aquatic animals, that their bodies are provided with stinging cells. You remember any animal with stinging cells? If you are swimming in the sea and an animal comes to sting your leg, like hurt, like electricity shock, what animal? You remember? The jellyfish. Cnidaria. They are cnidaria. You remember them? Like the jellyfish. Come back to the jellyfish. We'll study it. We'll revise it again. Here we have a cnidaria. We have here, like this, cnidaria, like jellyfish, hydra, and sea animal. They have stinging cells. They have stinging cells. Here, aquatic animals, most of them marine and live individually or in colonies. They have head, mouth surrounded with appendages and extensions called tentacles. The body are arranged into two tissues layers, external layer and internal layer, and they have cnidocytes, which are stinging cells. This is the answer of our question. They have stinging cells. So the answer is what? The answer of our question is what? Cnidaria. The answer of our question is what? Cnidaria, like hydra and Aurelia, hydra and Aurelia, or the jellyfish. Okay, let's go back to the exercise.
Okay.
Let's go to number 8. A type of worms, a type of worms that has cylindrical body and tapered at its end. Which kind of worms? We have 3 kinds of worms.
Earthworm.
Earthworm has segmented body, but this one is not segmented. This one is cylindrical. We have, I will give you some choices. The flatworms or the cylindrical worms, which are called annelidi, or the segmented worms. This one is the cylindrical worms, like Scaris worm, like a Scaris worm. Let's go back to watch it. Let's go back to watch it. The worm here. We have annelida. Annelida or ringworms are not segmented. Ring or segmented worms. This is the earthworm, but we need the answer here is the nematoda. Nematoda is our answer. Scaris from nematoda. Round worms. This is the answer. Round worms or nematoda. Round worms, they have a body of cylindrical body, tapers at the 2 ends, unsegmented. The answer here is nematoda. The answer is nematoda. Like a Scaris. الديدان الأسطوانية. Go back to the exercise. Salma, number 9. Terrestrial plants live in damp soil, reproduced by spores. Some are erect and some others are flat. Which are the what is the name of these terrestrial plants? Live in damp soils, reproduced by spores. You remember? Ujair and Adiantum. Do you remember? The example here. Let's go back to watch it. The plants which are produced by spores The plants which are reproduced by spores. Here, this one, Moses. The answer is Moses. They are erect and just read with me. Non-vascular tissue reproduced by a grow and reproduce in damp soil and shaded places. Rachia and Fionaria. Rachia is flat and Fionaria is erect. So the answer is, our answer is Moses. Okay. Just go back to the ferns or Filicati. Maybe this will be the answer. The plants have simple structure. Most of them herbs, and few of them are shrubs and trees. Live in shaded damp regions, well as in shaded damp valleys. They have stem leaves and roots. Also, they carry pinnate leaves produced by flowers or seed. They don't reproduce by seed, but reproduce by spores. They reproduce by spores. Reproduce by spores. So this is our answer. The ferns or Filicati reproduced by spores. Fougere and adiantum. Fougere and polypodium or adiantum. So the answer of our question is a Filicati or ferns. The answer is Filicati or ferns. Okay. Let's go to another question. Terrestrial plants. The answer is Filicati or ferns. Damp soil reduced by spores, so they are ferns. Right. Choose the correct answer. From the plant which contain cones.
C.
Cones. C, of course, it is Pinus. Of course, C is correct. C is correct. Pinus plant has cones. It is from gymnosperm. It doesn't have a pericarp or fruit envelope. Okay, Salma, from examples of annelids or ringworms, segmented worms. Is it liver flock, ascaris, arachnids, or earthworm? Segmented worm, ringworm, ديدان حلقية. Of course, it is what? It is the earthworm. Okay. Next one. Next one. Brown or the shrimp? Brown or shrimp belongs to class Insecta, Crustacea, Arachnida, or Myriapoda.
Crustacea.
Yeah, very good. Crustacea القشريات. Very good. Crustacea القشريات. Of course. Next, octopus belongs to phylum Echinodermata, mollusca, Cnidaria, or sponge. Octopus. الأخطبوط. Which phylum? Echinodermata, الجلد شوكيات, mollusca, الرخويات, Cnidaria, اللاسعات, sponge, الإسفنجيات. Phylum of octopus. Of course, it is what?
B.
Mollusca. Very good. Mollusca, الرخويات. Octopus from mollusca. Okay. From رقية. From examples of echinoderms. الجلد شوكيات. Sea urchin, jellyfish, snails, or brown.
Sea urchin.
Of course, sea urchin. Excellent. Okay. Salma. Sponge animal belongs to phylum Cnidaria, Porifera, mollusca, or arthropoda. Which one?
D.
Sponge from what? arthropoda. arthropoda اللي هي مفصليات الارجل. سبونج مفصليات ارجل. يعني سبونج تبع الانسكس والاراكنيدي الارثروبودا دي الانسكس، الفريق بتاع الانسكس والميريابودا والاراكنيدا. اكيد لا طبعا. السبونج doesn't have any jointed legs.
B.
Very good. Porifera, very good. It is from porifera or بالعربي يسموها المثقبات. طيب. From examples يا رقية of insects.
Honeybees.
Of course, honeybee. Of course, honeybee is correct. Thank you very much. Okay. Next, yeast belongs to kingdom. Easy يا سلمى. Very easy question يا سلمى. Yeast belongs to Plantae, Animalia, Fungi, or Monera.
C.
Yeah, of course. Very good. Fungi. Next. Ruqayya. From the warm-blooded animals. Fishes, amphibians, mammals, reptiles. Warm-blooded.
Mammals.
Mammals, of course. Mammals only. We have studied different kinds of animals. Only mammals and birds have warm-blooded. Only mammals and birds have warm-blooded, are warm-blooded animals. Okay, we have give reason questions. We can solve some of them. Mule is not considered as a species. Why mule is not considered a species? You remember? When we study classification, we start with studying the word species. A group of similar living organisms can mate and produce new individuals, fertile individuals, but mule and tigon are not considered species. Why mule and tigon are not considered species? You remember why? It is produced from mating a male donkey with a female horse. Mule is a sterile, unable to reproduce, to mate and reproduce, and unable to produce new generation. So it is not considered as a species. So term species doesn't give into tigon or mule. Why? Because they are unable to mate and produce new generation of the same kind, because they are sterile. Okay, they are infertile, and they come from mating two different species, donkey and horse. So it is not considered as a species. Okay, go back to the exercise. Give reason number 2. Bacteria are classified as moneras. Why bacteria are called monera? Why they are found in kingdom monera? Can you بيسألني what is the can you بيسألني what is the characteristics of kingdom monera? بالظبط. Can you بيسألني what are the important characteristics of kingdom monera? نقول عن monera ايه؟
Unicellular.
Yeah, unicellular. Yeah, unicellular organisms. Very good. What else? Have real nucleus or prokaryotes? Prokaryotes. They don't have a real nucleus. You know, they are unicellular organisms. Monera are unicellular organisms. They don't have cellulose in the wall. There is absence of many organisms in the cytoplasm, like mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum, and so on. They don't contain a definite nucleus. This is the most important issue. They don't contain a definite nucleus. The genetic material not externally surrounded with a nuclear membrane. So they are prokaryotes. They are not eukaryotes. They are prokaryotes. They don't have a real nucleus. They don't have a real nucleus. The genetic material found in the cytoplasm without any membrane. So this is the important characteristics of kingdom Monera. Another give reason. Ascaris worm is nematoda, while earthworm is annelida. What is the difference between nematoda and annelida? Nematoda, cylindrical worm, and annelida. Let's compare between nematoda and annelida. Let's go to the worms. We have in studying the worms, we have here the nematoda or roundworms and annelida or the segmented worms, the ring or segmented worms. The difference between annelida and the nematoda. We can differentiate between them by main characteristics. The body is cylindrical and round, taped in the two ends, and the body consists of 3 layers. They are not segmented. They have no segments. The body is not segmented, and they are unisexual. And the alimentary canal has 2 openings, mouth and anus. Okay, their size ranges from microscopic size to 1 meter length, and the body is lateral, bilaterally symmetrical. Okay, this is the nematoda or roundworms, الديدان الاسطوانية. But annelida or the segmented worms, الديدان الحلقية, their body is segmented. الجسم مقسم إلى حلقات. And they live in fresh water, and some of them are free, live in the sea and fresh water, and also in the mud. The body is divided into rings or segments. Many of them have a sheety or a spine-like buried in their skin, under their skin. And some of them are unisexual, and a few are hermaphrodite. There is some hermaphrodite in the segmented worms or roundworms, but the annelida, they are unisexual. So we can differentiate between annelida and compare between annelida and the nematoda. Question, next question. Palm plant, النخيل, palm plant classified as monocotyledon. So we are talking about the characteristics of monocotyledon. You remember what are the characteristics of monocotyledon? Of course, we have to remember the characteristics of monocotyledon. Like maize or corn plant or wheat plant. This is a very important part of the classification, comparing between monocotyledon and dicotyledon. Always a question on this part of the lesson. Here, comparing between monocotyledon and dicotyledon. We have to remember the differentiation between monocotyledon and dicotyledon. Monocotyledon, like a maize or corn plant, like palm tree, okay, like wheat plant, and dicotyledon like pea plants or beans or cotton plants. The leaves are parallel pinnate, and here in dicotyledon the leaf is pinnate or palmate pinnate. The veins are palmate. التعرق شبكي هنا تعرق متوازي. And here the number of leaves in the flower 3 and its multiplication. 3 and its multiplication, it is called trimerous. It is called trimerous leaves. They have trimerous walls. And their multiplication, yani 3 or 6 or 9 and so on. But in dicotyledon, they are tetramerous or pentamerous. They are 4 or 5 and their multiplication. And the monocotyledon, they have fibrous root. The root is fibrous like this, not a very long in the soil, but it has many branches nearer to the soil. But the root in dicotyledon is tape root, long and tape root. The root is tape and deep, very deep in the soil. So the root is tape. And the leaves are narrow and parallel vennate. The leaves here are vennate or palmate vennation. Each seed has two cotyledon. Each seed here has one cotyledon only. Here we have the vascular tissue is scattered in monocotyledon and arranged in a cycle. Arranged in the dicotyledon. The xylem and the phloem are arranged, but here are not arranged, it's scattered. The vascular tissue is scattered in the TS section. Here, the compare between monocotyledon and dicotyledon is very important part of classification, to compare between monocotyledon and dicotyledon. Our last question today, despite the bad ability to fly, it is classified as a mammal, not a bird. Who can answer? Ruqayya, can you answer this? Why the bat is a mammal, not a bird?
Because
Does it give birth or lay eggs?
give birth.
Because it gave birth. And they have mammary glands. The female have mammary glands. They can suck the young by milk, feed the young by milk. So they are mammals, not birds. Okay. The last question. Kangaroo is classified as metatherian animal. What is the meaning of metatherian? الحيوانات الكيسية. Metatherian. Mammal or metatherian animal. They have a pouch in the female have a pouch in their abdomen, and the babies are born not completely grown, so they need to put the baby inside the pouch in their abdomen until it grow up to feed and protect the babies. So it is metatherian animal or metatherian mammal. Okay. We come to the end of this session today. I want you to solve more questions, please, about classification. You have here more questions about classification in the booklet. I send you this booklet, okay? I hope you solve more questions about classification. And then the next time, inshallah, would you like to start revision on unit 1 and 2 about first term, or you would like to solve exams? Which do you like?
Units 1 and 2.